The slap echoed through the training chamber like a gunshot, but Cadet Marcus Rivera was already moving. His enhanced reflexes, courtesy of 3 years of neural conditioning at the Terran Defense Academy, kicked in before his conscious mind could process the insult of Commander Vexthara's open palm striking his cheek. The Corvani instructor stood 7 feet tall, her chitinous exoskeleton gleaming under the harsh fluorescent lights. 4 arms emerged from her torso, 2 primary limbs for heavy work, 2 secondary appendages for fine manipulation. Her compound eyes, each the size of a human fist, tracked every micro-movement in the room with predatory precision. What the human cadets didn't know, what the Academy brass had classified at the highest levels, was that Corvani reflexes operated on a temporal scale that made human reaction times seem glacial. Commander Vexthara had struck Rivera for his insubordination, questioning her tactical assessment during the morning's combat simulation. The slap was meant as a disciplinary measure, a reminder of hierarchy that transcended species in the Galactic Defense Corps. But Rivera's augmented nervous system interpreted the blow as an attack, triggering combat protocols burned into his neural pathways through months of conditioning. His right hand snapped up in a perfect counterstrike, enhanced muscle fibers contracting with hydraulic precision. The blow that would have landed on Vexthara's thorax never connected. The commander's secondary arms moved like liquid mercury. Her left caught Rivera's wrist mid-strike, fingers wrapping around the joint with enough pressure to crack bone. Her right drove forward in a devastating palm strike that connected with the bridge of his nose. The cartilage crumpled with a wet crunch that seemed to harmonize with the fading echo of her original slap. Rivera dropped to his knees, blood streaming between his fingers as he clutched his ruined face. The other cadets, Thompson, O'Brien, Nakamura, stood frozen in their formation, watching their classmate writhe on the polished metal floor. Temporal displacement, Vexthara announced, her voice carrying the harmonic overtones that made Corvani's speech sound like a chorus. She hadn't moved from her original position, hadn't even shifted her weight. To the human observers, she had somehow struck Rivera while he was still in the process of retaliating. Your species experiences combat in linear sequences. Action, then reaction. The Corvani perceive multiple probability streams simultaneously. She walked to where Rivera knelt, her 4 feet clicking against the deck plating in perfect rhythm. Your augmentations make you faster, stronger, more durable. But they cannot change the fundamental architecture of human cognition. You think in cause and effect. We think in quantum superposition. Rivera looked up at her through watering eyes, blood still flowing freely from his broken nose. The pain was extraordinary, not just physical, but psychological. Every instinct screamed that what had happened was impossible. He had thrown his counterpunch first. The laws of physics demanded that he should have struck her before she could respond. The enemy you will face among the stars, Vexthara continued, do not share your linear perception of time and causality. The devourers experience reality as a probability matrix. They strike before you know you've been targeted. They kill you before you realize you're in danger. She gestured with one secondary arm toward the medical station. Report to the infirmary, Cadet Rivera. When your face heals, perhaps your pride will have healed as well. As Rivera stumbled toward the exit, leaving a trail of crimson drops on the pristine floor, Vexthara addressed the remaining cadets. Her compound eyes fixed on each human in turn, calculating their probability matrices, their potential for survival in the coming war. Today's lesson, in interstellar combat, the species that controls temporal perception controls the battlefield. Your human concepts of fast and slow are quaint relics of a single-world species. Out there, among the stars, causality itself is a weapon. The slap's echo had long since faded, but its lesson would echo through Rivera's career, assuming he lived long enough to have one.